we're doing. Let's see if we can sort of take something similar. But BRBRPATAPIM are like, huh, what? Like, we're doing our own thing. And it's whether that own thing is going to be actually good enough to beat a zero tenacity team like this.
Very interesting. We're going to be seeing zero tenacity looking at this classic version of the Guardians composition with Luna
in the grand finals of their group over on Sunday. But Zero Tenacity, they've done a really good job at shutting people like me up and really breaking a lot of pick'ems.
They deserve it, and they are bringing a more interesting composition, realizing they're going to go up against this Cap and this Psylocke. They have brought the thing to try and lock them down and stop these hypermobile characters from moving as much.
I mean, he's a very good character. What he does is just so many people seem to move away from him after the Invitational. So he's going to take a bit of a slog, but that seems to just suit him just fine. And he keeps adding to my list of favorite players to watch because of stuff like this. You do also have like some more support help with the triple strategist lineup. So you've got the real sustenance to keep yourself going. But it's not going to stop TENACITY finding that first pick over onto Lugia. Just as the Soul Resurgence comes in from Oasis, it's not going to matter. Ken actually decides to switch over and just left click down on the cloak to cut things through. And BRBRPATAPIM did a bit more of a grueling fight. It's taken a good amount of time. They managed to get the reset over. Let's see if what happens with this thing dedication. Clobbering time close. I mean, yeah, definitely if you're Pokey, he's had to pull out the Dance of the Butterfly. Look at his HP. He is pretty much on a pixel, a sliver of health, and TENACITY uses that as a chance of a counterattack. It's almost like Zero Tenacity got pulled into the fight to hunt down Pokey as he escapes, and it opens up the door for TENACITY to set the kitchen right on fire.
What a stagger we're about to see, Mantis. They're literally just keeping them here for as long as possible to go for the stacks. They know.
And it picks up BRBRPATAPIM, and they feel like they haven't really gone down all that much in these engagements. They've just been too long. They've been too frustrating. And you do have like the Eternal Bonds ready to go. Alex is going to be the one that starts it up first. Ken has got the copy available with his ultimate. It's just waiting for probably to grab another Cloak and Dagger to get the Eternal Bond up yet again. This Galactic Legend from Smashness not finding any real discernible damage. And Enzo's actually the one that gets caught out. The Psionic Seduction pulling him out into the open to just be focused in down. Polly running in onto the site, brawling as much as he can, forward, backwards, trying to see what direction this fight wants to be taken in for BRBRPATAPIM, as they've made the point at least to a 99% progression. They're finding that first elimination there too, but there's people being brought back. Knutson actually goes down. The Camera Revival was available, but it's just too awkward of an engagement. BRBRPATAPIM diving in, poking and prodding with Pokey, makes this a very clean 100% to 0.
Storm, that Human Torch has been released. They have been rolling it and doing so much work. And as such, even though we did see the attempt from Smashness to try and track them down with that Star-Lord,
that could maybe bite them in the backside if they're not careful. The Soul Resurgence found for Oasis. You have got the Camera Revival. Smashness has gone down. Newton's going to bring it down now. Seeing if Lugia is actually going to move over to the Wolverine. So some of these Resurrects are going to keep this fight going for Zero Tenacity. But that is a superb Eye of Agamotto from Enzo. It catches on to 4. But a Karmic Revival, even just the combinations actually that are coming from the team up, are just bringing back these Guardians into this engagement. Knutson back twice after going down twice. Finds a pick to make this a bit more of a slog. BRBRPATAPIM forced to make this a little bit more grueling. They do have the copy coming in from the God of Mischief from Ken. They also have that Freedom Charge to sit on. I don't think it's going to be needed here, Tetcher. They managed to grab.
Zero Tenacity zoned away. They went back to the well.
He gets multiple targets, so he's trying to catch people right on the radius. You like this aggression that's coming in from Smashness, and it's really making BRBRPATAPIM have to readjust where they're playing from. A last stand was used from Lugia, but TENACITY's not going to let him go out without a fight. There's a Dance of the Butterfly finding the backline. That duo that hasn't died at all so far, I think, this map. Trying to get taken out together. That might be enough space for Zero Tenacity to work with, but Pokey's got something to say about that too. He takes out Knutson. It has the Karmic Revival again. BRBRPATAPIM just finding the right targets at the right time.
Zero Tenacity are winning this fight, but like you said, BRBRPATAPIM are picking off people to the point where they're delaying this for so long. All that delay that we saw from Polly has allowed Ken to respawn, get an ultimate off, and keep the team topped up as the second Eternal Bond comes in. Two in the same fight as they push on in. TENACITY to drop some extra damage, allowing for Supernova right in the doorway to take down Ducky, and Zero Tenacity are starting to run low. Carbon Revival's going to be coming back to give them that extra reinforcement. Smashness is revived and immediately picked off for a second time.
Oh my god. It's just right on top of the Karmic Revival. You come back in, it's from the frying pan into the fire, quite literally from Tanuki. It's every time Zero Tenacity look like they're going to have a bit of a response, he shuts them down, puts out that flame, and BRBRPATAPIM
as effectively as Polly. Polly believed in this even when a lot of other teams didn't, and they delayed, only getting taken down once, getting 6 final hits, batting out that Human Torch, or at least targeting one of these options, and Tanuki is currently hovering Iron Fist. Don't know if that will make it out of base. But what we did see is them get their hands on that Lunar Snow, because it was let through. BRBRPATAPIM were focusing more on batting out the standards and picking what they like. So they had the Lunar Snow. That puts the risk of the Psylocke Captain America backline dive combo significantly higher. Now, while Venom
especially taking the majority of the playtime, Tanuki now over on the Star-Lord, taking a lot of fire and being pulled off of the map. Lugia actually eliminated just as he was about to throw them into the abyss. Means that they actually don't go down at all. Knuten forced to fly back, reset, lick his wounds a little bit. And Pokey just carving on through, building up to 3%.
At the ready, but Pokey has been so aggressive on the flank. Here comes Wolverine, has to back out of there, very nearly getting caught out of position. And we'll use that Emma Frost team up to create a little clone for at least some damage mitigation.
This the longest day of the year tomorrow, but these have all been pretty short series so has dwindled. The positive side is you have 4 ultimates, you almost have all 6. The negative, BRBRPATAPIM almost have all 6 too.
Unibebe doing good damage. You can't block you can't deflect lasers, but you can block them. Cap trying to hold some time, and Pokey is on the flank. We will see Polly actually getting taken out. Lugia showing the power of this extra Wolverine instead of the second Vanguard with just lockdown potential. But you can't lock down that diamond form Emma Frost, but it will expire. Blast the Barrage. Fate of both worlds from the Lunar Snow that was allowed through, immediately being matched by the Eternal Bond to try and turn this round. Silent Seduction, but the healing output is so good from BRBRPATAPIM. They're not able to turn this round, but the second those big strategist ultimates have expired, it's time for Zero Tenacity to hit the go button. Rage of Ultra to start up. They want to force out this invisible boundary from Ken to open up. Invisible Bombs cannon round the corner, but it's blocked off.
BRBRPATAPIM not had to use anything really. They've held on to pretty much everything other that Eternal Bond that comes through. Zero Tenacity wanted to use it on the attack. Now that they've got some momentum, Tanuki is the one to silence things potentially. There's Polly coming in with a freedom charge. You've got the Dance of the Butterflies from Pokey alongside trying to catch Zero Tenacity as they're disengaging from this fight. Polly and Pokey, the two new
Tanuki out there to try and stop Pokey from getting away after they've set themselves up. One Bionic Hook or Soldier's Fist could be game-changing, but no ultimate. There won't be one for a while. Sonic Seduction from Enzo to try and set up with 10 seconds remaining if they can get some pickups early. Oh, especially onto Lugia, dropping them low off the side to try and take some cover. Lockdown. Oasis will be the one to fall. Lugia picked up on the flank as Tanuki is living up to the legend, the galactic legend, as they clean on up. No one's up here, no one's spawning, and that would be a hold very short here by the side of BRBRPATAPIM. That is going to be Storm and the Squirrel Girl and Moon Knight are the big breakers of these main setups. But the fact is, Tanuki, they were one of the most legendary
really up into their favor. Getting past this bridge this quickly has to be concerning for Z10.
Keep an eye on Pokey if they get hit by that force fit, by that extra lockdown from the Psionic Vortex, or by that tainted voltage of Knuten. This is when you'll see the opening. This Jeff continuing to keep the team topped up. The healing output from you, Jeff, is extremely effective here. Polly finds Ducky and Oasis. The card is moving forward. That's gonna be a Terracate to try and burst through Polly, but with that Mind's Aegis, they survive a little bit longer, but will get taken out by Knuten, who finds the double. They're capitalizing. Smashness has not been been targeted at all here and is getting some great damage on this backline.
And so, still dedicating over to the Punisher. Controller player, by the way. I mean, if you're running close proximity with the shotgun, it's not going to matter too. And you're looking at some of the push power, the Soul Resurgence over for Ken, but also this Omega Hurricane for Pokey. The final judgment's going to be used first, actually. I thought that might have been held on to for a little bit more, but he's still able to get the picks. Enzo, we've highlighted the likes of Tanuki. Well, he's brought out the Hurricane, but it's a Horn of Proteus that sends them both back into spawn.
Smashness may have just saved their team this game with that Horn of Proteus. The Namor trying to deal with the Emma, who's the only one left on the point with 2 minutes to go.
He's going from Lucia over on Hope, looking to try and brawl a little bit more. Just have the ultimate to just survive if this engagement gets a little bit delayed. Tanuki actually pulling out this fight a little bit deeper, and Enzo switching over towards the Emma Frost, caught out by the Hulk. And it's looking like this is going to be a bit of an awkward reset from BRBRPATAPIM. It's a bit of a mixed numbers. Never mind, actually, Polly, Pokey, and Ken finding picks as we're sort of seeing on the right-hand side. Might have enough about them, but they have to reclaim this payload and move things along again.
Lugi is going to delay, buy as much time as they can. Enzo coming in with the portal to try and make sure that they can reinforce and get onto this finish line. Here comes the Captain America with the Freedom Charge to give them a little bit of extra bonus health for some healing and try and rush onto these strategists. They come in for the reinforcement. So much pressure. The point is right there. Portals from both sides. Monster Hulk with Hulk Smash. Tanuki trying to avoid it, but Smashness is continuing to be the saving grace for this side on this Namor exactly when it's needed. But Dance of the Butterflies is cleaning up. They finally find the wraparound, trying to get onto Smashness, taking him down, and that is GG with 20 seconds remaining. BRBRPATAPIM
Just proving that they deserve to be in the discussion. And it's an overall team performance, and this team is so comfortable with one another. They're able to blur the lines between the roles that they're playing, right? We saw Enzo for the majority of that playing over on the Punisher, and honestly being enough of a threat to be reckoned with.